So today's class is a walking meditation. We'll be doing the normal first part where we'll do the body relaxation, meet with ourselves, body relaxation, breathing meditation, and then we'll do the walking meditation. So I'll record all of this so that if you want to do a walking meditation at home and freak your neighbours out, walking down the road in some sort of spaced out way, then feel free. So I'll leave it running while we do it. So what do I need to say about walking meditation? Like I put in the reminder email for this class, we don't need to walk in a really slow, contrived way, wearing beads and dinging bells and moving our foot ever so slowly. Oh, can if you want, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just going to overtake you. You'll be last back. Nothing wrong with doing that. I mean, it is what it is. But I always believe that the more we try to make things ritual, the more we move away from having peace in everyday situations, because we feel like peace must look like this and peace must arise in that, and peace can be is everywhere. Peace can just be in any moment, wherever we are. We can find some peace. So feel free to walk slowly if it's your bag. You probably feel a bit weird now I've said that, won't it? But if that's what you want to do, feel free. And if you want to run round, feel free to, jogging's meditative anyways, and it's really repetitive, a bit like swimming. And there's nothing particularly special about walking meditation. We can do swimming meditation, we can do cycling meditation, whatever we want. I think fishing's a meditation until you catch a poor fish and hurt it, but up until that point you've stared at a float for 4 hours, haven't you? So it's a bit like Zen meditation. If only they just sort of stared at the float, didn't catch the fish. So we'll do I'll do the setup now for this, so that when we've finished the breathing meditation, we can go just naturally straight outside. So I'll do the setup. So for those of you who've done the walking meditation before, we walk down to through the fields to the bottom of the dip, and then we turn around and come back. If anybody wants to do half of that or a quarter, or just wander around the graveyard, then that's fine. That'll paint a picture for anybody listening onto this, that we're wandering around a graveyard. They'll have their own image of us doing that. And it's just really simple. It's just literally bringing our mind back from wandering away into the stories, into the present moment. And in any present moment, we have a choice. We have a choice. When we're not self-aware, when we haven't got mindfulness, there's the appearance of choice, but it's not true choice. It feels like choice. If you say to somebody who's had no mindfulness all day, have you been at choice? Have you been at choice today to do whatever you want? We'll say, of course I have. But if we check, that's not really true when we start to experience mindfulness. It's only when we experience mindfulness we start to realise what mindlessness is. And we get a glimpse of it sometimes when we're driving and we think, how did I not kill myself for the last 30 seconds because I can't recall where I've just driven. But generally we start to understand mindlessness when we understand mindfulness. So when we've got a choice in any moment, if we're completely content and we've got a choice of a million things. The first time it happened to me, like properly, fully content, didn't feel like moving a muscle. The next thought was, well, what do I do now? Well, I can do anything. I can go and walk and stand in that corner. I can make a cup of tea. I can walk over there and stand halfway across the room. I can stand on one leg. And it felt the weirdest thing to not be driven by discontent to find something to do. To actually have to try and find something to do. But to just sit, calm, content, do anything now, do whatever I want. Weird feeling. And my next thought was, so what am I going to think next? So what shall I think? normal human beings don't normally think, what shall I think next? The next thought's already there before they've thought, what shall I think next? There's already another thought. Like, quite disconcerting at first. What shall I think? So we're sort of doing that. And I find it fun. We're sort of doing that on a walking meditation. We're mindful to the extent that we are. We bring our mind back to the present moment when it wanders away. You may have had a busy day. You may start walking out there and you might start thinking about somebody at work or a friend or a book you've read or whatever it is. And you just bring your mind back to the present moment. Notice that that's happening. Bring your mind back. And then it's a case of, what do we allow the awareness to meet with? So we can meet with a general awareness. We can just generally be aware of whatever it's presenting itself to us. So you can walk out of the door and you can just be spaciously aware of everything. Or we can be aware of a particular sense and its interaction with what's appearing in the world. So that might be our skin, our touch. We might notice our feet on the floor. We might notice the wind. It's a really nice one to actually do. I'm not suggesting do it tonight, do whatever you want, but at some point it's really nice to do a walking meditation where what we're aware of is the wind. It probably won't feel, you'll probably get to know the wind differently to the way you believe the wind is. It's really quite amazing when you start to build up a picture of what wind is by how you feel it mindfully walking. Little pockets that gust and move around and whatever else. Equally, we can bring our awareness to smells. So when we do this, we do it deeply. I think that's one of the words that's often used in meditation classes. Thich Nhat Hanh uses this phrase quite a lot to sort of look deeply, to feel deeply. And we can smell deeply. And people have done this and come back and said they can actually start to smell the difference in temperature as they go through the fields or in the woods. The smell changes depending on the atmosphere in the environment. So when we smell deeply, we start to just open up to the wonder of it all, the fascination of it all. So that's breathing. That's smelling and touch. Visual, we can look at things and we can look deeply. When we walk past a leaf, we can look at the leaf and we can actually see what's on the leaf. Are there any insects on the leaf? Is it just budding? Is it dying? Does it look supple? What kind of green? Are there different veins in it? How is it moving? How is it moving in the wind? And we can look at a distance. We can notice whether the colours change in the distance compared with the near. And are there some distinct colours that jump out as little flowers? So we can look deeply. Part of doing this deeply thing is not necessarily labelling it. You might find you label it naturally as a habit, but we don't need to mentally label what we're experiencing. You can look at a leaf, you don't have to think leaf. If you notice you're thinking leaf, check mine as well. I was at a tennis club committee meeting last night and it got really serious and heated.
As bad as you thought it was.
It was worse. and I butt dialed me teaching meditation. It started to come out of my pocket. And I had to sort of wander off into the kitchen and turn it off. And I think probably I'd have been better leaving it to play. Might have calmed everyone down. So yeah, when we don't need to label, we don't need to have that commentary. We're not trying to force that commentary out because it's quite an habitual thing that we tend to do or we can do. So it's not to try to beat ourselves up, but we can just look at the sky and notice, do I think the word sky when I look up there? Or if I hear aeroplane, do I think aeroplane and then look for it? Car, sound, motorbike. Or am I able to just let that go a little bit, gently, and just allow everything to play itself out without the conceptual mind labelling things? It's just a different level of rest. It's a different level of rest in the mind. Sounds, listening. Obviously we can listen. So like that motorbike that's just gone past, I think it was a motorbike, or the birds. You can notice that sounds come and they go, and there's different components to sound. Which sounds we're drawn to, which sounds are here that we don't tend to notice usually. Maybe we can relax our hearing so that we can listen deeply. Maybe we don't tend to notice and focus our breathing as we walk in. Maybe we can hear our lack of fitness as we walk. Yeah, so that's, I haven't covered all the senses, have I? Well, what have we covered? We've covered touch, sound, listening, eyes. I think that's it. Taste. Yeah, I wouldn't advise that one necessarily. How was it? Oh, that grass. Yeah. Unless you're very skilled in, like Ray Mears, I wouldn't recommend that one round here. Okay. And then we come back. We come back and we sit down. So what I'd like you to do is when you come back is to, you might all come back at slightly different times. That's fine. Just come back, sit down, and then meditate however you wish with your eyes closed. Zazen meditation, just with your eyes open, just being gently present, just being gently present with it. And then if anybody wants to just mention what they've experienced, then I think that's quite nice sometimes to do that if we've got time, to just what we note. Don't feel that you need to do that. Oh yeah, if anybody comes the other way and you start to feel a bit self-conscious, rather than jump in the hedge, what you could do is just notice, oh, I'm feeling self-conscious. Or I wonder if that person's wondering what we're up to. And just notice that. That can be quite liberating to just observe a sense of self that feels maybe a little bit awkward. Notice that, to just notice it. That can be, and that it doesn't really matter. Or it does matter, however it feels to you. And then go back to the sounds or the smells, or give them a hug or whatever it is. The other thing is eye contact. Generally, it's best not to make eye contact, just because it takes us out of our own experience and chatting. We want to just keep our mind in a little bit so that we're in our own presence, and we can practice this. So the practicing bit literally is my mind's brought itself back to the present moment. What was I allowing my senses to meet with? General awareness, the smells, what smells are there? You just come back to what it was that you wanted to bring yourself back to. And to really enjoy, it's not dark yet, is it? No. to really enjoy, I was thinking for a second there, you all might be looking that way thinking, he doesn't know, does he? He's got no idea it's gone, he's wittered on so long it's gone dark. Right, we better start meditating. What I thought we could do this week to start with is to just sit. I've been reading a book by an Indian saint, an Indian sage of the 20th century, and I can't remember his name. I must have read it 200 times in this book, but it's Mahara something or other. And he just sat. Most of the time he just sat. His biggest teaching, he said, was to just sit in silence. So having gained a bit of inspiration from that, I thought we'd just sit for a minute with our eyes closed and just rest in the peace of this room and the peace of each other. I'm well aware that the body might not have come to a gentle rest yet, so don't worry about if you feel the need to move about a little bit, and please be patient with each other as well. But we'll just sit now for about a minute and rest. Okay, so we'll stay in meditation. Chin tucked in a little, crown of the head up, back comfortably straight, feet however you wish so they're comfortable, your hands palms up or down in a hand mudra, in your lap, on your thighs, however you wish. We can rest the tongue against the back upper front teeth if we wish. That's the back of the front upper teeth. That just stops too much or too little saliva building up, mouth drying out. Don't worry if it feels unpleasant, but if you can do it, the benefit is it's less distraction. And we're going to meet with ourselves. Really enjoy this part of the class actually. It's really quite liberating to meet with ourselves as we are, instead of meeting with a pastiche of ourself, a collage of ourself, the self that we would tell others we are. We can let go of all of that baggage, all of that story, and just gently and honestly meet with exactly who we are in these moments. It's beautiful. Please bring your awareness to your body. Notice how your body feels in this chair. Does it feel rested, tired, heavy, light? Does your belly feel full of food or a bit grumbly for some more food? How does your head feel? Does it feel muggy or clear, tired, spacious? Please gently bring your awareness now to your thoughts. Accept them fully and completely, they're part of you. We don't reject our leg or our nose or our eye, so we can practice not rejecting our thoughts. And we remain as the observer as these thoughts come and go. See if you can let go of the thoughts very lightly as they arise very early. See if you can just catch them like a very slight, dainty object, and not forcing the thoughts away, but just gently letting go of them, not giving them any energy. Wishing them well on their way back into the mind. If your mind is very busy like a whirlwind, then just observe that. But don't reject that either. If your mind is, you're doing this at home and your mind is very busy or angry or confused or sad, please try to practice self-compassion and not reject any of the things that are coming through you. You wouldn't reject your blood as it flows. So we can learn not to reject the mind as it flows. Now please bring your awareness to your abdomen. Gently bring your awareness to your abdomen and notice any feelings that are there, or notice an absence of feelings if that's what's present, somewhere between the chair and the throat. It's often feelings. It's very grounding to bring our awareness down into our body. Again, don't reject anything you find. And stay curious about the subtlety of it, of each individual precious moment. See if you can notice the sense of the observer of all these things. The part of the mind that appears to be a me observing thoughts, feelings, body. Notice where it seems to be within your body and your head and your feet and your hands. Where does it seem to be present? Where does it seem to reside? if you can even have a rough idea of where your awareness seems to reside, another part of the mind is watching it. See if you can generally become this has to be relaxed, in a relaxed way, just gently become aware of what it is that's observing the observer. So we've met with the parts of ourself, the body, the thoughts and the feelings. We've met with the perception of a self, observing all these things. And if we're fortunate and we've relaxed enough, let go enough, we've become aware of the consciousness that can observe the sense of observer. This may all sound a bit strange, don't worry, it can take quite a lot of time. But it's a very beautiful meditation to practice. Where is all of this coming from inside of me? Where are these feelings coming from? Where are these thoughts coming from? Where are they going to? Whilst you're aware of yourself in this chair, I'd like you to see if you can pinpoint right in the middle of your awareness, where is the centre of your awareness right now? So pretend you've found the middle of your awareness. Pretend there's somewhere where you think, we've got it, this is the middle. And then like a laser, go right into the middle of that point in space. And just stay there for a few moments. If we look for anything, we don't find it. If we look for matter, eventually all we find is energy. When we get to subatomic particles, we can't actually find matter. In the same way, when we really look into the middle of our self, the awareness that appears to meditate, if we look right into the middle of that, we can check, what do we find? Not expecting anything amazing to happen, but just, what do we find? If you found nothing was in the middle of that, welcome to yourself. If you found there was nothing there when you looked right into the middle, and the middle of the middle, that's the thing that's not going to die. Okay, so we can now do the body relaxation. We'll do a little shorter one this week so that we can do the walking. Please bring your awareness to your face. Allow your face muscles to relax deeply. Bring your awareness to your left arm, relax it, then your right arm. Relax them both and the hands. And we can relax our legs, allow your feet to be in comfortable contact with the floor. Relax the calves and the thighs. Bring your awareness to your shoulders and your neck. Allow your arms to rest under their own weight. Allow the shoulders and neck just to be in this present moment. Allow them to be whatever they need to be. If you need to stretch them a little, feel free to stretch them a little. Notice if it feels like there's energy trapped in the shoulders and the neck, tension or burdens. We don't need to move it in today's class. Just observing it weakens it, liberates it. And now we're going to bring our awareness to our abdomen. We can visualize thick black smoke swirling around inside of us. That is the manifestation of all of our future worries, fears, concerns, grief, striving, craving, guilt, shame. All of our future suffering bound up in this black swirling smoke. And with 3 really nice steady deep out breaths, imagine it billows out the smoke and the suffering into the far distance through the nostrils. And at the end of the 3rd breath, feel like you breathed it all out. Feel like you've breathed out the future and all there is now. All the future's gone. All there is now. When we come to this place in meditation where we stop our mind needing to move into the future, we give up all hope. And when we give up all hope, we find really deep peace. An element of discontent is hope. We don't really need it. We can have contentment and peace. Now we can breathe in sparkling golden light, visualizing beautiful golden sparkling light coming in through the nostrils. It has the power to uplift our mind, freshen it, lighten it, and strengthen it like very flexible, strong bamboo, or like silk. A strong, confident mind that's flexible and light. permeates our body and our mind. With the last few in-breaths, we visualize the whole body and the mind permeated by golden, sparkling, beautiful light that uplifts us. And we start to become aware naturally and gradually of the flow of breath in through the nostrils, keeping the back comfortably straight, the flow of breath down the throat, into the lungs and back out again. If you wish, you can imagine your breath goes all the way to the centre of the earth and then back out again. If that doesn't feel comfortable, just stay with breathing in and out. Bringing the awareness in further to the nostril linings, really enjoying the simplicity of breathing in, noticing the coolness, breathing out, noticing it warmer, and paying special attention to the point between cool and warm, and cool and warm, warm and cool. That's often the point where we lose our mindfulness, where there's really nothing going on. Bringing our awareness to the very rims of the nostrils now. In each moment we can be curious. What's here? How is it changing? What's here now? The cool and the warm. Before we go and do the walking meditation, we can dedicate the piece we've created from this stage to our own peace and the peace of others, the peace of all the animals and insects we're going to walk past and the people we're going to walk with today. We can dedicate our efforts to their peace and our own. For those of you who haven't done the walking meditation before, please just follow people who are going to go off and walk and just see where they go, see what happens. And don't worry about what time you get back. If you're a minute or two later than other people or a minute or two earlier, it really doesn't matter. We'll aim to get back just a few minutes before the end of the class. But please don't worry about it. try to decide what you're going to be aware of, whether it's just going to be general awareness or a particular, the smells or the sounds or the feelings. Don't be afraid to change your mind. Don't change your mind loads. Stick to something once you've found what it is you want to do. But if you've walked out of here for a little while and then think, I want to do something else, then feel free to do that. Come back to each moment. Come back to what it is you're going to anchor yourself in. Really try to enjoy it. Avoid eye contact and speaking. Please be careful crossing the road. Quite a bad corner. There is a mirror there to see. So thank you. Please get yourselves ready and feel free to go out, do the walking meditation, and we'll see you back in about 10 minutes or so. mind wanders away, just bring it back again. Allow your mind to rest, allow your body, your breathing to come back to its normal rhythm. Just settle back into your chair, bring your awareness back to this room, this moment. Allow your breathing to just settle down again. Remain aware of the peace that you have inside of you to rest in. Keep your awareness in the present moment. Allow your breathing to come back to its normal rhythm. Enjoy the peace that has arisen. And before we come out of meditation, we can dedicate the peace we've created and the enjoyment of the environment we've been in, the pleasure we've experienced. We can dedicate this to our own future joy and the joy of others. May everyone experience joy and contentment. Then when it feels comfortable, just allow your eyes to open. Remain aware of what you're feeling. Bring your awareness to the present moment and open your eyes. Thank you. Thank you for coming back. Are we missing someone? Have I got to send out a search party?
No, they did.
Yeah. She's all right though, isn't she? She's not. I don't have to go looking for her. Okay. We've we've run over a little bit, but I'll stop here and then I'll ask if anybody's got anything they want to share. So thank you.